live and see if we can kick things off right now. Hello, you're watching Tech Flashback, a PC gaming and hardware news live show focused on the biggest stories of the past week. I'm your co-host PC Jack, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host Jerry from Top 3 Entertainment, and we're back for the first episode of Tech Flashback of the year, which is pretty exciting. So I hope you guys all had a good New Year and Christmas and all that jazz. And we got a lot to get into. We got me and you have got some catching up, Jerry, haven't we? We haven't really talked much in a spell. So how have you been? How was your festive period?
The holidays were pretty good, chilled, spent time with family. Work sucked. That's part of the reason why we really haven't been able to stream too crazy either. But that's kind of going back to normal. So, I mean, I'm just happy I'm healthy enough to be able to work, so I can't complain too much on that end,
There's that
But
as well.
it's great. My wife got me this gaming chair for Christmas.
I think I maybe put up a picture of it. What brand is it?
I don't know, MSI knockoff, Downing or something like that.
Oh, fair enough. Nice though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It has this little vibrating feature that I didn't know it came with. So I just connect I connect a little portable battery to it because it's USB powered.
Oh, is that like as a massage thing, or is that like haptics?
Yeah. Yeah, it has a little massage thing.
Oh,
Downings. Yeah, so
that's pretty hardcore.
it's great. Yeah, I know. It was on sale, so I told my wife to get it, and then if I found out it came with that, and it's great. How was your holidays, Maine?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was quite chilled out. Yeah, it kind of all just went by in a blur, if I'm being totally honest. I was quite the opposite to you. Like usually from my job, I'm working quite a lot over the Christmas period, but I only worked one day, which is quite a change.
Nice.
So it was quite nice. We were speaking of like stuff from our partners. My fiance bought me an LTT screwdriver, but it is yet to arrive, sadly.
Oh,
But,
that's fine. So she screwed you over, huh?
I had other things as well, so it's all right though.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be nice when that shows up.
Nice.
I bought my wedding ring the other day, so that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
so you're holding her hostage until that screwdriver comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Until
Until that happens, nothing happens. Then But,
What kind of ring did you get?
it's a titanium like flat band ring, if that's a good way to describe it. I know nothing about rings. I just picked the one
Is
that I
it
thought looked
silver?
nice.
Is it gray? Is it black?
It's like a dark grayish metallic color.
Okay. So it's like a carbon almost.
It might be a bit like the one you show me that you have.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that sort of color, I think.
Actually, I'm not wearing my ring right now.
Ooh,
But
damn.
I don't
Don't let your wife watch the show then.
I don't wear them to work, so when I come home,
That's fair. It's probably it'd be a bit worrying if like like in the job that you work in, it's probably quite easy for someone to slip off your hand and just disappear forever, I assume.
Yeah, and I wear gloves too, so I mean, there's no difference anyways if I'm wearing it or not. You can't tell.
That's fair.
And yeah, I mean, well, I told you that hack about the rings. I don't know if you did follow my advice or not, but
Well, the ones I found ones that looked similar to what I wanted, but it wasn't quite what I was after. So I went for one which was £148, which is not
Okay.
bad.
that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the ones in the stores were around the same price, 148 to 200 pounds, and on Amazon they were for $30.
There's as well. I
Yeah.
thought I'd go for it. I had a bit of Christmas money to use up, so I was like, I'll get the ring that I liked and just go with that, But
And
I'm happy with it.
in South Korea, the wife's family, they buy the husband a watch, and that's like their tradition.
I
So,
see.
Yeah, that sucks for us.
I did get a watch from my partner's parents a couple of years ago. Maybe I'm Korean.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they're Korean.
I don't know. Let's check in on the chat, see what's happening. So we got Lucky Man in the chat. Well, I'm in. Lucky Man's in. That's exactly what we need to know. Hope
He's
you're doing well.
infiltrating everything.
He's infiltrating. There's two of him in the Discord now. I don't know if you noticed. He multiplies. He's like
Nice.
that X-Men character.
Well, if he's gonna be doing that, get double the views and double the likes.
I like the way you think. And we also got Rugby 187 Gaming. Evening, fellas. Nice to see you stopping by. It was fun to play some Warzone with you the other day. I do need to get back into it. That was a fun stream. Like, just giving Warzone a go for the first time. We've been saying for ages I should play it. And I finally did. But I sucked. But,
Yeah.
but
No,
I played it
Warzone
though.
2.
It was Warzone 2, yeah, I suppose. But I got out the gulag once. So that's my one claim there, to be honest.
Nice.
But it was fun. It was a good way to end the year, I think, just with a nice chilled, just gaming stream. But it's cool to
Oh
get
yeah.
back into like the regular show as well, I think.
Oh yeah. I know. I missed it, man.
Yeah, same. It's good to be back. Have you streamed much since the holidays? But obviously you had the one last week with
Kinda.
the you looking at like the pricing on
The
GPUs.
GPU stock, yeah. And that was interesting. I didn't realize GPUs. Well, like the 2 days before I made that video, I looked up GPUs and the prices have skyrocketed, man. They've gone back, not to the pandy days, but um,
It's in a weird
they're
place.
yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
expensive. So I'm kind of the only reason I'm glad is because now my 6700 non-XT video makes sense again. Because
Yeah.
yeah, that card's at a weird price point.
That's alright
And
though.
yeah, and other than that, I just been streaming on Tuesdays. Um, my gaming, which I'll be doing again today.
That's cool.
Oh, I passed Halo. That
Oh,
was fun.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
we were
good.
doing that for the co-op campaign for the streaming on Tuesdays. So
Ah, okay. That's good. Like I know we do the Tuesday streams, but I'm feeling like doing some actual gaming streams a bit more frequently. But I'm not good at it. Like I struggle with like keeping the guys entertained while playing a game. So maybe I'll
yeah,
get back into it a bit more, but we'll have to see.
you maybe you just get more hands-on and you'll be able to keep guys entertained a lot more.
Yeah, maybe I suppose. But like maybe it's one of the games I play. Like I streamed Hades a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of like I feel like I could play that game with my eyes closed now. So it's like not too much I can really comment on. So but maybe try some other stuff. I got Returnals coming soon, so maybe I'll
Oh
stream that.
yeah.
That'd be good. Um,
Um, are you looking forward to the Harry Potter game? Or am I the only one that's looking forward to that?
I'm not really. It's never really been something on my radar. I know there's a whole thing going on with J.K. Rowling, so that's why people are like thinking about review bombing it. But like,
Oh, that's terrible, bro.
but I'd still look at it as a like a. Well, you can enjoy Harry Potter, but you don't have to like J.K. Rowling, I suppose. But like,
Yeah, no,
I don't really have a like a finger in the pie because I don't really. It's not my thing. But you're excited for it.
yeah. And I think that's messed up to the developers and everyone that worked hard on it.
Hmm.
It's not their fault that she's crazy.
She is a bit like some of the stuff she has come out with is a bit like out there,
Yeah,
but
off
you
the
need to be able
wall.
to separate the work from the creator, I suppose, in that sense. But like from what the last time I saw something for it was maybe like a PlayStation showcase a while ago,
Yeah,
and it did look good. It's just an open world wizard
Harry
game,
Potter game. Yeah,
yeah. But you create your own character.
I
Is that
think
it?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be interested to know if it's good. I'd give it a shot, but like it's never been like something that's particularly like interested me. If put it
Hey,
that way.
I just found out today that you could actually kind of create your own character, your own child. You know how you can choose your gender of your child when they like fertilize the eggs and they I don't know,
Right.
they separate it one way to put the X chromosomes and the XY if you want a girl. Well, I guess they've there's a new way now where you can like choose their height and their eye color.
So it's
And
gonna be like the Tony Hawk's like character creation screen
yeah,
now.
or like GTA or like yeah, and I just thought that was crazy that technology's gone that far. That
That's
we're
a bit
actually
wild. I hadn't heard about that. I know obviously like you could choose the
the
gender to some
gender.
extent and all that,
Yeah.
but that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'd choose like a tall baby. Well, not a baby, but a tall human. A tall baby. Just a tall human and probably colored eyes and
Like it'd be like sort of Michael Jordan height, just like he's
yeah, just a
straight out
professional.
the room, just like it's
Yeah.
like. Have you ever seen that bit? Do you watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah, I've seen Parks and Rec. It's been a while, but
Well, there's the one episode where they've got Pawnee versus Eagleton basketball teams, and the Eagleton team is basically like a bunch of professional basketball players, And it's like, there's no way that they're actual students. And there's like one guy, he's literally like early 30s. It's like, and a better math than you, Jerry. It's like, yeah, just if they were like basketball players, like straight out of the womb, they'd be totally fine.
Do
But
you ever see that picture of that 12-year-old? He is a football player. Dude just looks like a grown adult. Like he looks like a grown adult, and he's 12
I haven't
years
seen
old.
him. You've seen Hasbulla?
Yeah,
So this is like the opposite now.
yeah. Hasbulla is the. I know who you're talking about.
He's great. Oh,
Yeah, he's like 19, 20 something. Hasbulla.
but he's got some sort of dwarfism, I think.
Yeah, which it's pretty not not sad, but it kind of sucks.
Well, he seems to be living a good
But
life. Like he's
yeah,
a social
yeah,
media star, isn't he? So
he's made the most of it, which is great.
yeah.
Which we need to do with life. Oh, and before we go any further, I also wanted to give a shout out to Ancient Gameplays. He reached 100,000 subscribers.
Yes, I
I
did
think,
see that. I saw you did a celebratory stream today. I didn't catch it, but I've saved it to watch at a later date. That's wild. I remember when I first came around his channel, it was like 30 to 40k he was at. So
yeah.
like
Um,
he's gone way up there. Like
when I had him on my podcast, I think he hit 50,000.
yes, that was
Uh,
it.
yeah. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I think we're all content creators. We're all in the same field. I think it's great that we all acknowledge each other and support each other as best as we can.
You know what was weird?
So,
I was actually re-watching. I say watching. I was listening to it in the car. Your episode with Fabio, and
nice.
it's a really good interview. Like I'm sure I said it before, but I just thought it was a really interesting interview to listen to. But yeah, it's crazy that he's got the whole 100k. So he'll be getting that plaque as well. They're oh, it's not the diamond one. That's from 1 million. I'm not sure. I can't remember what they call but they get the 100k subs plaque, don't they? But fair play to him.
Nice.
He's putting the work in at least anyway.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's not easy.
Oh yeah, I
As
know.
we all know, it's not easy. And then like you said, the interviewing thing's not too easy either, huh? That's a little.
It's difficult. Like I had a bit of a thing when I was gonna say it's nearly been a year since you first appeared on Tech Flashback as well, which is pretty crazy. And even then, I was like trying to think of like the right questions to be asking you to try and gauge exactly what you're about and what your channel's about. So it's an interesting thing to do. It's not so much an interview now because we just talk shit for
Yeah.
2 hours. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
even
yeah.
still, but it's interesting to see that difference as well. That interviewing might be more interesting. It kind of links into. I'm kind of segueing into a bit of like channel discussion now because I was just like wanting to know what you guys in the chat are wanting to see more of on the show. Like, so we're just bringing it up about like when Jerry interviewed Fabio from Ancient Gameplays. Would that be something you guys would like to see more, where me and Jerry are interviewing guests? If you'd like something like that, let us know. If there's other things you'd like we did the thing where we were rating builds. That was a fun stream.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that. That's cool.
or more gaming stuff like that. Just let us know in the chat or like pop a message on the Discord anywhere. Like we want to make sure you guys see what you want to see, and if there's more of that kind of thing you'd want to go for, then I'm happy to do it. And I'm sure Jerry would feel the same way as well.
And I also want to add on to that too. If there's a topic you guys see, and like you can post it in the Discord, and maybe we could talk about it or anything like that too. Even
Oh
like life
hell yeah,
questions. We can answer fan questions about life or something. Just not, you know,
hell yeah.
don't make
Like,
it too crazy.
well, not nothing too like what's your social security number? Like
Yeah.
maybe nothing like that. But
What is the meaning to life?
But yeah, you guys, you let us know like what you want to see, and we'll try and provide it. I'm also gonna give a quick plug because I've only just done it this week. Is I've set up channel memberships on the channel for the first time ever, and for just 99p a month, you can sign up just to support the channel, and you get some extra stuff like you get a membership icon which appears in the chat on streams and in comments. Special emojis, so you can use emojis of my face if you want to.
Nice.
What else was there? There's priority replies and comments, which I reply to most comments anyway, so like that's not much of a bonus. But the one that I thought was pretty cool is you get early access to videos. So if you were to sign up either today or tomorrow, you get early access to my Noctua NHL9i review before it goes live. And yeah, it'll be the same thing every week for early access videos. I usually have the videos done by Saturday, Sunday. So if you fancy seeing the videos early and supporting the channel, then you're welcome to. Nothing has changed about the channel. Like, you still, videos are free. The whole thing is still free. If you want to show some love, then feel free to become a member and get some nice perks along the way. But that's all I'm going to plug for stuff on that, though. What, if you got anything coming up for this week, Jerry?
Yes.
Would you like to divulge?
Yeah. My friend let me borrow a 3070, so I'm gonna go ahead and test that out.
Ooh,
It's a
nice.
gigabyte gaming overclock. Um, I'm trying to update my tests again since Nvidia did a driver update and it updated games up to like 5% for the most part. So I'm just updating that and also a new video. Plus, my cousin's case is coming in on the build that I'm doing, so I'll probably be reviewing that as well and finally building his PC. So
Nice.
that'll be coming up too. And that's in time for hopefully the Harry Potter game, so he can go ahead and play that. And well, his timeline was Diablo 4. And it seems like we're kind of ahead of that schedule, so
Yeah, I think you'll do alright in that, actually. Like, Diablo 4 is in June, I think?
yeah,
Yeah, that's it. No, it should be good. So that review, though, for the 3070 will be Friday, I'm
Friday.
guessing. Nice.
Everything's on schedule, so
Sweet. That's what I like to hear. So, how about we get into our first topic when we're talking about GPUs already? That'd be pretty
sure.
good. So, as the name of the video or the stream suggests, I just want to cover a bit of like CES 2023 and whatnot, and just some of the stuff that was interesting about it, some of the stuff that wasn't quite good. I thought it was more disappointing than anything else. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way.
Oh.
But we'll get into it. But the first thing we need to talk about is, of course, a blank browser. Let's fix that.
Nice. Well, I think that blank
Got it.
browser
Fixed
could
it.
be interpreted in many ways.
It's okay. I fixed it. We're back on track. So, if you weren't aware, the 4070 Ti was announced at CES and was also launched on Thursday of last week. And the reception has been pretty terrible. Like, I think that's putting it lightly. But like, let's have a little look at the pros and cons I've been listing on here from this Tom's Hardware review. So, I read out on this. So, the RTX 4070 Ti marks the third entry in the Ada Lovelace roundup, dropping the price of entry to an almost palatable $799. Raw performance is basically on par with the RTX 3090, but with half the memory and lower power consumption, while DLSS 3 hopes to make the performance picture a bit rosier. And it lists on here a couple of pros and cons. So, big jump in generational performance, very efficient graphics card, DLSS 3 may yet prove useful, good ray tracing hardware. The cons: big jump in generational pricing, DLSS 3 increases latency, mostly pointless 16-pin power connector. Now, of course, there are some other
Go.
complaints that people would have regarding this, but before we get any further into it, what's been your sort of like overall thoughts, like on your consensus on the 4070 Ti, Jerry?
So the good, the bad, and the questionable, or my questions for it, I guess, since I haven't really gotten one. The
Well,
good, it performs the same as a 3090, sometimes, depending on the game. And the bad, it's expensive, and it should have. I don't know. I don't really care too much that it was a 4080 at first. I see a lot of people complaining about that, but that's the bad is that it's still expensive. And then
hmm,
my question about it that honestly I don't see anyone talking about the videos I've seen is how big is this damn card? I heard it's smaller, but every video I've seen they never like mention the size, and I'm wondering is it as big as the 4080? I know it's not, but
yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Is it as big as the 7900? Is it like a normal size graphics card? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know. Like, literally, I've been so turned off by this entire launch. Like, they even had
Yeah.
the guy he's been doing a couple of the like reveals for their video cards, and the worst thing is the guy who like started the whole meme with people. He was calling it the 3090 Ti. That guy,
Yeah.
he called it a 4070 Ti and compared it to the 3090 Ti. in the same sentence. So he's messing with us even more with just Ti and Ti, and I was like, no, it's getting even worse. But besides that, I've just been so like, it seems like what Nvidia's going with this generation is so tone deaf, and the thing that does bug me, especially like I know you were saying you weren't too concerned about the 4080 like name for it previously,
The
but
moniker.
that's it. But then, how would you feel if they did hold their guns and still call it just a 4080 12 gigabyte and just kept it at that? I think that would have been even worse than what this
Oh
is
yeah.
right now. Especially with the fact that they claimed as well that the 4070 Ti was going to outperform the 3090 Ti without maybe clarifying how that is, which proved to be complete bollocks as well, by the way.
Yeah.
But again, this is the trouble we have with like upscalers like DLSS. It kind of like makes the picture a little blurrier when they're like, "Oh yeah, it performs just as well as this." How?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
resolution?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
upscaler? We're talking about
I
DLSS
know.
free like performance mode. Like that's marketing for you, I suppose. Anyway,
It's
but
terrible.
yeah. So it seems like the overall reception has been pretty lackluster. I've got a couple of benchmarks just to refer to on here. So we go for a game on here. So Plague Tale Requiem, a game I've been getting familiar with because I started playing it over the festive period. And we've got the 4070 Ti outperforming. Ah, I get it. I was getting confused by that. Then I saw how is the 4070 Ti outperforming the 4090? They've enabled DLSS 3. That's why. Anyway,
Oh,
so if we take a
crazy.
look,
Jeez, if a 4070 Ti was outperforming a 4090,
I was like,
those would be selling off
what?
the shelf, man.
It's like that doesn't make any sense.
Instead of making it a 4080, we made it a 4090. Let's go for half the power and
But
half the size.
you can see on here if we're like not looking at DLSS at all on here, just raw like performance. So with 4070 Ti, I don't know why the list is separately on there anyway, but it's looking around 44 FPS at 4K Ultra in a Plague Tale Requiem, which places it behind the 3090 Ti. I think that's there. Um, but it's only like literally like if you went for a 3080 Ti, you're like 3 FPS behind. I'm pretty sure you can get like
Yeah.
it's not like that good on there. Uh, what's another interesting we could go for?
I would say
Flight sim.
I would say the prices of the 3080 Ti are the same price as the 4070 Ti. So
But this is the problem now because we were saying earlier there's a bit of a strange change in regards to pricing anyway. But that's why it makes this even more challenging because like I don't like. I did see you having an argument with Buildzoid as well about this.
yeah.
And I was just like, I know what he's saying, but like,
Who builds Zoid or
yeah.
me? Or both?
Well, I was on your side, if I'm being totally honest. Not just saying that because you're here,
Yeah.
but like the 3080 was still like you could still get one. It was a bit difficult, but you could buy one.
Yeah.
But it's this yeah, it's a bit of a difficult like this whole proposition with regards to it is difficult because of the pricing being so strange right now. But yeah, what's some of the games you'd be interested to look at for performance wise? Flight Sim, I think that'd be one
Quite
like
sim.
people would be
Sure.
curious about. So again, I'm kind of ignoring DLSS because it kind of just like it skews it off a little bit. But for 4070 Ti, you're looking around 55.4 FPS, which is trailed behind by the 3080 Ti at 49.3. So again, we are seeing that similar sort of not price, performance bracket like compared to that, but nothing that's really worthwhile, especially when you think about the fact that we were going to class this as a 4080 12 gig as well. Um, I'll include links to stuff like this in the actual like stream, but like let's look at one more game just so we're not here all day looking at benchmarks.
I'd
Um,
say Forza Horizon 5 might be a good one to look at. That's one I test.
ah,
So
here we go. Well, let's make that the last one we look at for the benchmarks. So what we got on here? So 4070 Ti is 105 FPS, whereas the 7900 XT is 97.9. So trails a little bit in front of it for the on like well AMD's closest contender currently, but yeah, it's about what we were expecting is the main thing I'm trying to draw attention to. But again, it's these claims that it was going to outperform the 4090, the 3090 Ti, and just it seems reviewers are very like unimpressed with this card as well. Um, if you're like me, I've got a couple of channels that I've got like alerts set up for. So obviously, embargo lifts, your phone blows up with notifications. You're like, damn, something must have launched, and just everything. I was like, okay, bad, bad, bad. Just
Yeah. Yeah. No popular reviewer really gave it a good review, which I don't know. I guess I'm being a little nice, and it's not a terrible card. It's just I mean, it performs pretty good for what it is. It's just since it's called a 4070 Ti, you kind of expect it to be a lot cheaper,
hmm.
and that's kind of the problem there. And the problem I have with this card is what am I supposed to compare it to? Am I supposed to compare it to the 3070 Ti? Am I supposed to compare it to the 3080 or the 3080 Ti or 3090? You know,
Hmm.
since this is from the previous gen. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is a tough one. I mean, because if you look at it compared to the other cards on here, it stacks up pretty well. It's like there with these other cards that cost like the same price.
I still think that pricing is a little skewiff though. Like I think it could have been a little less. But the problem is it's got that $800 MSRP, but we all know it's not gonna be that.
Yeah, the cheapest one I found I think was 830. And that was like the PNY one or a Gigabyte Eagle.
Okay.
Or maybe it's Zotac. So the cheapest was 830. They all were kind of around 850, 840. And then obviously like the Rock Strix was like 900.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
as we expect anyway.
yeah.
But like I don't know. I feel there's probably better options at the moment. Well, I could have changed. Like I bought a GPU for like the first time in ages the other day, but like it seems like it's changed very quickly right now. But I don't know. It's just it's not been entirely impressive. I think it should have been lower price. In all honesty, I think that's a very like easy thing to say. Like, oh, it should have been cheaper.
Yeah.
But I think that has been the main consensus a lot among a lot of other people anyway. But let's I want to just see a minute because we got a bit of catch up in the chat to do. See if people have been talking about this card now. So, we got TechLab UK in the chat. Hola, hola amigo. Nice to see you. That's about the extent of my Spanish. That's as much as I can do. Are GPUs real prices yet? Getting bored waiting. Well, this is kind of what we're getting into now. I think we got some more to go into regarding that. I think anyway, because as Jerry said, the pricing seems to have like gone up slightly compared to normal for other cards anyway. And seeing as Jerry like covers a lot more for GPUs, he's probably gonna have a bit more input on that compared to what I'd have right now. But well, we quickly get into it now. Like, so what have you been looking at current like lately, Jerry, for GPUs?
Today's current deal on New Egg is the Acer, what is it? The Acer Predator Bifrost Intel Arc A750. It's for 350, which is decent. Um,
Okay.
there was a 6800 I found for $500, but that sold out pretty fast. I didn't even get it posted on my YouTube because it was
Oh,
already sold out. 6700 XT cheapest was like 370, and then the 6650, the cheapest I found was 270. So
hmm.
that's the best cards I could find right now, like the that were kind of before Christmas. Because Black Friday and like the month and a half leading up to it, all the cards were like at a really good price.
AMD
And
especially AMD
yeah,
cards from last gen have been like really decent. Like that, I obviously I shown you that 6950 XT I got, which was eight
oh
hundred
yeah,
pounds, and well,
it's not a,
that's pretty down from what it was in MSRP. But like,
they're like 900 now.
yeah,
I can't find them at that price no more.
it's gone up in the UK as well. So that deal is clearly ended now. Um, but like I honestly haven't been paying too much attention on the Nvidia side. So have you been taking a look at any of those lately?
Yeah, they're pretty expensive, man. They're out of stock a lot too. I couldn't find any 3080s, I don't think. Yeah, I couldn't find any 3080s, and 3090s were just at the point that I saw the 3090s and 3090 Ti's, it was just better just to get the 4070 Ti probably.
Do you think a lot of people have been like really turned off by 40 series and 7000 series? But they've now gone, right, no, I'm going for last gen hardware. Maybe that's why?
I think so. I think there's two, well, I have no solid proof, but my conspiracy is I think since newer cards are coming out, they stop, maybe not stop, but they slowed down production on the older cards.
Well, listen,
Nvidia was a,
we did already see they had a bit of an oversupply issue towards the latter
yeah,
half of last year, so maybe that's where they've kind of picked up from.
yeah, I was about to say that. I think Nvidia, they did have that a big supply of cards, and I think that might have started running low, especially during that holiday season.
Hmm.
And I'm assuming they probably haven't really picked up production on that because, I mean, they could use all that silicone for their newer cards. So they're probably trying to get those selling as well. Like I said, I have no concrete proof. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. And on the AMD side, I couldn't find those 6800 XTs like at all, unless you wanted to pay like a scalper price.
Hmm.
So I'm not too sure what's going on there, but maybe they're slowing down production on last gen and they're focusing on the new gen, which makes sense, which happens like every new gen.
Well,
But it is,
if you compared it to going back a little bit more to the RX 580, they only sort of like ceased production on that within the last year or two. Like they kept production quite high on Polaris cards, so maybe
what
we'll see
about
us.
the 5700 XT though? I don't really see those for sale anywhere, or like a 5600.
I don't know. I don't think so. But then, did it have the same like popularity as like Polaris cards, like the RX 580, 590? I'm not too sure. Because again, that's like 5700 XT was a shift up from in architecture to RDNA 1. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you're
was
right.
RDNA 1. So maybe the actual yields for Polaris silicon was a lot higher, and that's why they kept production up on the RX 580, 590s, 570s. And again, that was a little bit more before they were a bit more closely contending with Nvidia as well. And given the pricing on RX 580s, it's probably quite they probably got quite decent yields for hardware around that sort of price range. So maybe that's why they kept them going for longer. I could guess potentially,
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. But like, it's a weird place for the market currently, and it's like it's kind of gone like it got reasonable, and now it's kind of gone a bit strange again. But I don't know. What else we got in the chat? We got. He also went on to say TechLab UK DLSS 4. They make up all the frames. You don't even need to play the game. It plays it for you. Exactly.
nice.
Who else bought a 70 Ti? 4070 Ti. Well, Jerry, you were in the queue. We saw you
Yeah, I was in line and you guys told me not to, so I walked out.
doing your John Travolta. So, you know. But yeah. Jerry making a name for himself on Twitter. Oh, okay. So I think he's referring to when you had your beef with Bill Zoid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like is this like this is like it's like your first like YouTube drama, Jerry? You know.
Uh,
Yeah,
kinda.
there was points I can understand some of the points that he was bringing up, but like I think it was a
I
bit off
understood
the
too.
mark, a bit to be honest.
That and they are a little more biased towards Intel and Nvidia, which is
Hmm.
kind of whack from because you know what? On Twitter, I'll give you a follow, but once I start seeing biased things or like in this case when it comes to like PC hardware, if I start seeing you put biased things or sometimes like one company does something and you just keep putting these redundant statements, I'm not gonna follow you no more because I'm not trying to look into that. But sometimes sometimes I can be in the wrong, so I can get that too. And
Yeah.
I'll give a I'll admit I'm wrong if I'm wrong, or if I misinterpret something, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, but stuff like that is like, come on, dude. We know you're kind of not trolling, but you're tiptoeing on the line right there, man.
I think
Like,
the worst offenders I've seen for that is Digital Foundry. I find they kiss your videos are so hard. I find. I'm not sure if anyone else follows Digital Foundry, but I'm pretty sure they've had like previous like collaborations with Nvidia in the past, and they've been one to heavily plug like ray tracing back in the early days when like RT was a pretty new thing for gaming, and I don't know, they rub me up the wrong way if I'm being totally honest. And for someone that has such close, they have very close relations with Nvidia, so it makes me a bit more suspicious. A bit like what you were saying then, anyway. Um,
yeah.
they're probably the worst offenders I could think of. Um, but I'm not sure. I think that's it's a
I
bit.
would say, my Red Capital Frame X, I unfollowed them, but for some reason they still pop up on my timeline from what, I
I
don't know.
unfollow them as well.
That Yeah, that's Twitter's algorithm. But anyways, I guess they recently put that there's no way that the new X3D chips or CPUs will be able to get close to the 13900X. And I was like, well, it hasn't even come out yet, and the 5800X 3D was a pretty good CPU.
What
So
was his reasoning behind that then?
I don't remember. It was on some chart or something. He was saying the performance of the 5800X 3D performing on some benchmarks or something on some graphs, and he did the math. He tried doing a 25% increase. Anyways, it's just saying that there's no way. It's like, well, it hasn't even came out yet. You haven't seen it for yourself.
It's like just wait.
So there, yeah. And even if there was only like a 1% chance that it can be better, that's still some way. It's just like it's just stuff like that I kind of don't like. It's like, come on, man. You're clearly being a little biased. It's like
Yeah.
you could say like, um, I don't expect the new X3D cards to come close, but we should see, or something like that. But it's just that's what I'm
To
talking
say
about.
something concrete like that is a bit. It's
Yeah,
a step too far. Yeah.
I hate extremes in like in anything, far left and far right and whatever, not just politics, but in just whatever, man. Let's try to be as neutral as we can. Obviously, everyone has their bias, but I just hate these extreme statements and extreme things that people say. It's like, come on, let's be a better place.
Well, if we wanted to relate it more closely to ourselves, think about how much back and forth we had regarding Intel Arc before that launched. We talked about that loads on the show, and there was a lot of like sort of bashing it for like not releasing on time and stuff like that. But we did look at the performance claims that were rumored and leaked and stuff like that, and where credits due, we did like highlight where it was seeming to be pretty interesting to look at, and that was before it even released. So I think it works on our side as well. But obviously, it does need to be more transparent with other channels as well. Um,
But we didn't make like no like claims saying that the Intel Arc was gonna either be the second coming of Jesus in the tech world,
hmm,
or we weren't saying that it's gonna just tank and be absolute dog poo. We're just saying that this is what my main complaint with it was they were saying it was better than the 3060, and I'm like, what about AMD's cards that are way cheaper and perform, which
exactly.
ended up being my hypothesis anyways. But see, even like I said, even with like that, we didn't go extreme with it. We didn't, I don't remember you saying anything
We just
like saying,
speculated. That was the main thing,
yeah,
and just use rumors and leaks as like stuff to like hypothetically look at something that hasn't come out yet
yeah.
and think about how it will actually fare in the real world, which I think works
And
out. I think
even
that's the best way to do it.
and even then, we still say, but this is based on nothing, speculation, rumors,
Yeah,
because we love juicy rumors. But at the end of the day, until it's out or until there's a solid report from a solid source, I don't. It's all hearsay, and that's fine.
exactly. Right, what else we got going on in the chat? I'm kind of going through because we got to get to the next
Yeah,
topic
that's
fairly
fine.
soon.
That's fine.
But never been able to find an RX 6800 XT. Was the card I wanted last gen and ended up going Nvidia. Well, I think you said you're having difficulty finding them lately as well.
Nah, it was just right here.
I don't know what you're talking about. Here it is. It's right there. But But if I'm right in thinking Tech Lab, you went for a 3070 Ti instead, which is that's still pretty good going. I don't think you've done wrong, but there to be fair. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening with the 6800 XT lately. I think it's gone a bit rarer, or maybe Jerry's just got the only one around.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I did get the special edition Nitro Plus.
That's fair. That's all right.
But I paid a shitload for it too, if we're being honest. So,
That's fair.
hey, and that's another thing that guy was telling me about the comparing the 3080 price. It's like, dude, how are you gonna tell me about prices when I paid 1300 for a fucking 6800 XT? Trust me.
Yeah, it's a
AMD.
little off,
Yeah.
What else going here? Tech Lab again. I'm always biased on my Twitter. We only look at the things we can afford. Well, it's an interesting way to go. There's a market of gamers that are feeling severely neglected right now in the sub like $500 GPU market. And that's what I'm excited to get to. Like I find it more interesting to look at these cards where people are like, right, I've got $400 exactly. I need something along those lines that is going to get me the performance I'm after for like 1080p, 144 hertz, maybe 1440p, whatever, somewhere. That's what I'm aiming for, and I need to stick to this budget. That's why I find cards the most interesting. The ones that are like balls to the wall, all out in terms of performance, they're cool. But like I like it when you have a strict budget and you need to figure out what you can go for. I find that the most interesting on there. But what else we got? Rugby gaming. I don't mind some of the fanboyism myself. See a lot of it from my own opinion from it all. Well, there's nothing wrong with being a fanboy, but there's understanding like when you're right and when you're wrong, if that's the right way to phrase it. But like you gotta see it from both sides. That's the best way to be, not just with like PC hardware in general, but you need to be able to understand both sides anyway. And that was the classic thing with like Intel versus AMD, and now it looks like, well, Intel versus AMD and Nvidia now as well, which is a bit of a change of pace. But it's just the way you gotta go.
And if I was a fanboy, I guess I'd lean more towards the AMD side. We're being completely honest. But that doesn't mean that I don't respect anything that Nvidia does or anything they come out with.
That's how I'm feeling. Same way right now. That's why I've been enjoying using an AMD card for the first time in a couple of years. I think I said before on the show, like I kind of missed out on a lot of RDNA 2. If I'm like comparing myself to you, Jerry, in terms of how many cards you've looked at. Because I looked at the 6650 XT, and now I've been using the 6950 XT. So it's kind of nice to see it from the other side as well now, and just get used to it on there. It's nice though. I've been getting on pretty well with my 6950 XT. It's a pretty good card. I had a really good review to refer to from a guy, Top 3 Entertainment, So I think it went pretty well, But
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
Was that?
I was reading the. I said I was reading the chat. We got a little. We got a funny crowd today.
We got a whole like gaff of people going through right now.
Yeah, I could tell the crew missed each other too, because they're going off and we're going off. It's nice. It's nice to be back.
It is nice to be hanging out with everyone, just getting back into the usual thing,
When are you gonna make a video on your new card, anyways?
This weekend. Oh no.
Okay.
I was gonna do this weekend, but I have a new video I'm gonna be working on, so probably next weekend I'll start doing stuff on this card. I'm gonna do a video on the Fractal Ridge issues that I think I mentioned about on Discord. So I can quickly go over it now if anyone's curious. But basically, since I swapped my mini ITX system into the Fractal Ridge, I was having a lot of issues with BSODs and games crashing, stuff like that.
Not good.
Unsure what it would have been. Like all the hardware works. I haven't really changed anything that like I haven't like used previously.
Yeah. Which is really weird for going from one case to another. There should not be any
exactly
any problems. So.
Only thing I could think of maybe was like maybe at the RAM, because I've got a couple of different RAM kits. Maybe I picked up one that I haven't used in quite some time, and that's not playing well with the system, something like that.
Yeah,
And then I kind of just forgot about the build and just left it in the side of my room while I was busy doing other stuff for a while.
it happens.
Um, and then I woke up Sunday morning and I looked at my phone and there was a comment on the video for the build. And someone said, "Have you been having any issues with crashes because of the riser card?" And I was like, "You have that that bring me like,
Yeah,
oh." And I thought, no, I didn't think about that because I know there's been issues with riser cards in the past for Gen 4 GPUs, specifically because there's been this Gen 3 riser cables. So when you first build your system, if you haven't gone into the BIOS and dropped it down to Gen 3, you don't get a display out. That was quite a well, not popular, quite a renowned issue in the past. So I didn't think of anything like that. But I was like, no, I didn't think like there was an issue with that. But apparently there is an issue with running Gen 4 on the riser card that is in the Fractal Ridge that is included. So I dropped it down to Gen 3. Literally, I woke up, I was like, I'm doing this right now. I set
yeah.
the system back up, dropped it down to Gen 3, and tested it out, and it's flawless. Works
So did you
absolutely
comment
fine.
back? Did you comment back? What kind of idiot would overlook that?
I think on that because like before I published the video, I knew I was having issues anyway. But the
Yeah,
video's long enough, so I didn't want to get into it. I was going to get into it in a different video. So I was like, said to the guy, I was like, "Oh, it's the first I've heard about that."
yeah, yeah.
But,
Normally when you go into your BIOS settings and you do go to the PCIe, and it's on auto for
yeah,
a lot of settings. So that's where you might just run into the issue for some reason. It doesn't auto find it. You just got to do, like you said, switch it to Gen 3.
yeah. There's not going to be a massive drop off in performance, but it is still an issue,
Yeah,
essentially. I haven't tried to contact customer support for Fractal at all yet. I know that Fractal are aware of it though,
yeah,
so I am thinking about getting in touch just to see, because obviously they are going to have to issue a statement regarding it or potentially replace the
yeah.
riser cards themselves. I would hope they don't have to replace the entire case because that'd be a pain in the ass.
Huh. It
Um,
comes it comes apart, right? You just gotta like
yeah,
screw it in, or
you can completely like disassemble it, but like I don't know if there'd be any sort of like policy in regards to the whole case. But
yeah.
they
Oh,
didn't they
jeez,
didn't
that'd be a pain.
they didn't do that for the torrent when the fan hub had issues. So maybe they'll just replace the riser card itself. But anyway, um, my idea is I want to do a video talking about it because I've looked it up on YouTube and no one seems to be talking about this issue with the riser card.
Then you should do it, man.
Exactly. So
Next week.
I'm gonna do that, but I'm also gonna do a video. Well, in the video, I'm gonna show you how to fix it on multiple BIOSes. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
BIOSes.
Biosci?
BIOSe. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll be
Or
like,
is it Beast?
yeah. I'm like, so here's how to drop down to Gen 3 on an MSI motherboard. How to drop down to Gen 3 on a Gigabyte motherboard. How to drop down to Gen 3 on an Asus board. Those are the only three I can cover because I haven't got any ASRock boards or BioStar. But that's a
Yeah.
pretty broad range because it looks different in everyone's BIOS. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for other people. But
Or I would say if you're doing the video, you could do like you could do the video saying I mean the other were those all gonna be separate videos that you were talking about?
it was
Just
going to be
quick
all
separate
in
videos?
one video.
Oh, okay. So maybe you could do make sure that you change your settings in your BIOS settings, and then you can have just like three different screens of each different. You could just have the name of the company of the motherboard, and then just all
Yeah,
at the same time synchronized. You like clicking and changing it, and it all synchronized at the same time. Just I don't know.
that could be a good idea. I don't know if it get a bit confusing because you're talking about different. I'll try it out though. That is a
Yeah,
good idea.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's something you could do too. And you can have yourself in the corner, just like
Yeah,
you
that'd
know,
be right then.
it's
Yeah. That's the goal for this weekend. So I won't get to look at my GPU until the weekend after, most likely. I got some stuff planned for it, so it should be fun. But
hey,
yeah,
you wanna know something funny too? So my cousin, he barely started watching Quentin Tarantino films, right?
yes, I remember now.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And I was thinking it'd be great one day to do a video and just like edits and like in the style of a Quentin Tarantino Quentin Tarantino review. So
Or just a really lengthy like bit of dialogue talking about what something really mundane, like
yeah,
what's
about the thumb screws, you know,
yeah. Do you know what they call
in the
thumb
cake.
screws in France?
They don't got thumbs and but I was just thinking doing something like that or even maybe incorporating it in one of the videos I do for his build just to see.
Yeah, it could work out. I always like little like ideas like that. It's something different. That's why
Yeah.
I like the what's it called, the disappointment build videos that Gamers Nexus does with the intros. They're like really like over the top like horror type videos.
Yeah.
Um, it's always good to see something different, like unique to there. But,
That's why I like TikTok. I don't know if anyone here is a big TikTok fan, but I just like TikTok because the videos are pretty random, but you get to see different styles of people being creative. And that's that's like one main aspect I look at when I watch those videos is just how people edit it, their point of views, and just the different angles that they shoot. And it's just like, huh, I never thought of that. Or like,
yeah.
that's interesting to do.
I kind of avoid TikTok because I know I'd probably spend too much time on it, so that's why I'm a bit dubious about using it. I'm bad enough with Instagram Reels lately. I've kind of been going way over the top with those and just watching the most stupid videos possible.
Yeah.
but, but I think it'd be 10 times worse if I got on TikTok, so I'm kind of like avoiding it as much as possible.
Well,
But
it sucks because when I'm benchmarking, I don't use my computer, so obviously it doesn't affect the performance. So I'm on my phone watching TikTok videos for like 3 hours, and
wow.
yeah, I try to do it on Sundays when there's football, because then I could just watch a whole game of football while I'm benchmarking.
Yeah, that's
Mm,
pretty good
mm,
thing to do as well.
yeah,
I've been doing it sometimes. I'll like if I'm doing something I need to let something go on my system. I'll play a bit on my Steam Deck or something like that, like maybe some Vampire Survivors or something like that. But I don't know. If I go onto TikTok, I just kiss the channel goodbye. I'd lose all focus,
yeah, yeah, that's true.
but, right, do you want to talk about some CPUs, Jerry? Change a bit of
Sure.
topics, I've
Yeah.
kind of like I can kind of merge these next two we were going to take a look at, but obviously we got to talk about what AMD announced at CES with their X3D CPUs that we were pretty aware was going to happen. So like I've got this article here
And
from Anantech. So if anyone's not aware, AMD unveils Ryzen 9 7950X3D, 7900X3D, and Ryzen 7 7800X3D with up to 128 megabytes of L3 cache and 5.7 gigahertz boost. Whew, that's quite a mouthful. So basically, if anyone remembers the 5800X3D, which was a very popular option over the past couple of months compared to the Ryzen 7000 series, which was kind of a whole different discussion. They're now going to be bringing their stacked 3D V-cache to Ryzen 7000 series, and yeah, there's going to be some interesting gains, especially now they're actually launching on more than one CPU, which I thought was a bit
oh yeah,
disappointed with 5000 series when they didn't do it on the 5900X, which they did
you know
show
what?
off as a prototype last year or
And
the
you
year
know what hurt
before.
the most?
What's
Is I
that?
had the 5800X, and then the only one they made it on was the 5800X 3D. I was like, really, guys? I was like, you couldn't do it just on the higher one, just so I wouldn't feel as bad. Like, I couldn't wait.
I can picture you there like was it like dealing in your CPU? Like I'll put it on myself. Just let me do it. But yeah, so
Yeah,
it's cool they're doing it on
uh,
more of them now. But
yeah, I agree.
it was so wild that like when the reviews came out for the like 7000 series, the 5800X 3D was outperforming them in certain scenarios and outperforming
Yeah,
Intel at 13th gen. It's like they created a CPU that no one could beat. So now it's gonna be
they
interesting
created
to
a
see.
monster.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how well it fares on 7000 series. There are some slight concessions, though, in regards to the L3 cache they're going to be implementing. The 3DV cache, rather. So they're actually not going to be using 3DV cache on both CCXs for the 7900 X3D and 50 X3D, I think. So if I take it back on here, I can use this like die design to just kind of like explain it. So you can see here we've got two CCXs on here, which is basically what they call a core complex for Ryzen like chiplets, essentially. So the 3D V cache is literally stacked on top of the CCX, and that's how they increase the L3 cache for the CPU. So for the higher end ones, which are the 12 core and 16 core, that's spread over two CCXs because they can fit 8 cores per CCX. So Jerry, your 5800X has a single CCX with 8 cores, essentially. And that was one of the reasons there was quite some people having issues with keeping their 5800Xs cool. I think you're fine because you've got a 360 rad, so I don't think that's an issue for you at all. But that's one of the reasons why there'd be increased thermals. But they're only doing it on one CCX for the higher end models on 7000 series. And as cool as it would be to have it on both CCXs for some like insanely like powerful CPUs, it's expensive. It's very expensive to do that. So they didn't do it, which is a bit of a shame. But I can understand the reason why. But it is going to create some interesting like sort of like challenges when it comes to like what. Also, the fact as well that you can't actually overclock these CPUs,
Yeah,
which is a little
but you couldn't.
disappointing. But it's understandable why.
But you couldn't do that with the 5800X 3D as well, right?
No, yeah, it had a locked multiplier on that. Just because of the way I think what they said was the L3 or the 3D cache is a lot more sensitive to voltage changes, so they just kept that to stock. You may be able to do some messing around with like your base multiplier, similar way to like how people were overclocking non-K CPUs on Intel. I could be wrong though. That might not have been a thing, but either way, if you're just going for like basic manual overclocking, you can't do it on these 3D Vcache CPUs. But as Rugby Gaming he said in the chat now, says that the hybrid design on the R9 7000 series is very interesting. So they haven't launched yet. I'm not sure when. Does it say when they come out in this article? I can't quite remember now. There might not have been a release date announced for them.
Yeah, I don't remember. Let me see real quick. Let me see what the photo says. I don't remember them saying a release date,
Oh,
but
they did. Available
they
February
did.
2023. So it's not going to be long to wait for that.
Oh, okay. I think in my head I didn't remember a date because I wasn't gonna get it February 2023.
Oh, fair enough.
So
But okay, so it might not be too long to wait anyway. But okay, yeah. So Rugby Games is clarifying that. So it's 3D Vcache on the one CCD, which will boost lower, and the other CCD potentially higher clocks. Okay, so that's something I wasn't aware of, that they'll be able to like play some interest in, like sort of like boost when it comes to like the clock speeds, especially
yeah,
with Precision Boost Overdrive.
I would say I think the 7950 and the 7900, the 3D Vcache is gonna be on one of the chiplets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 7800, it's gonna be on both.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. And
Well, no, the 7800 X3D has one, so
it
it's
has one
just
as well.
yeah, because it's only one CCX they need for 8 cores.
Oh, okay.
That's
Sorry,
that's
man.
why.
I'm
Yeah,
just trying to comprehend.
yeah. But
So
so like that's how, because on 3000 series it was two CCXs for the 3700X. Um, but then, do you remember the Ryzen 3100 and 3300X? The 3300X more specifically. It was their quad cores on Ryzen 3000 series, and this one was like, this was the most beastly quad core at the time, which was beating the 7700K by a significant margin at a really low price, and it was very difficult to find because that was the first ever Ryzen CCX with just the single CCX design for a quad core, and then they upped it for 5000 series. I always wanted that one, but yeah, so that was the example I was thinking of, but yeah, it's the limitations. I think is just more so in price more than anything. But it is going to create a very interesting like design when it comes to like Rugby Game brought up in regards to clock speeds, and also for like just the general performance improvements you'll get with that, especially with like CPU bound titles. Excuse me. 7800 is one CCD. CCX are different. Am I mixing up CCX or CCD? It's one of those. That's what I'm trying to get at anyway. But yeah. But the ones I was the most excited about, I know that X3D chips are interesting, is actually the non-X CPUs. And we've actually
The
seen reviews
budget
popped up for those as well. Was that you say,
does
Jay?
I say those just released. You said the non-X, right?
Yeah, that's it. That was
Okay.
the
I'm just
well,
sorry. It's just with the AMD and well all these things, K X's, non-X's, X3Ds, XTX, XTX. It gets a little confusing.
Did you see the Gamers
Uh,
Nexus X benchmark?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that.
So the XFX 7900 XTX Extreme is like the winner because it's got the most X's.
It's got the most X's.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, I was gonna say that those new CPUs released today, right? Or yesterday?
I think the reviews went live yesterday.
Okay, and they were available today.
Maybe. I haven't looked yet actually. I'm just curious.
Am I mistaken? I could be wrong too. I haven't looked exactly when. I just remember seeing something on Newegg saying the new something about saving power and getting power.
Uh,
So
I got a scan open but here. Let's take a little
I
look.
should have I should have probably looked more into it, but I was just
Yes,
looking through the deals on my break. It is available today.
7900 is available. Um,
See guys, I'm not 100% certain, so that's why I have to say, I think they are.
yeah, they are. So the 7600 is going for 239 pounds. So
Yeah.
that's
And
quite a drastic drop off for the 7600X rather.
the crazy thing about these CPUs is that they don't use a lot of power, right? Compared to the X editions and to Intel's CPUs.
But that's what's been so appealing about these CPUs. It's just the fact that you could like go for the non-X, overclock it, and get roughly the same performance as the X counterparts. That's why
Yeah.
they're always so good.
And you know how you got that fractal ridge? You
Yes.
could technically put in a 7900 in there since it doesn't draw so much power. I
Hmm.
don't think it'll get too hot. So it's nice for people like anyone that builds in small factor forms as well. They can get more cores
Oh yeah.
and not have to worry about getting an external 360 AIO or something like that just to freaking keep it cool.
Oh, especially like the full. It's just more the fact they've got these 65-watt TDPs, and that was the weird thing with the X counterparts, was the fact that they had that really weird thermal like design where it boosts to like 95 degrees C,
It
and
just
it's
stays,
like
yeah.
yeah, it was a bit weird, but it's pretty cool in there. What's on here? Rugby 187 gaming. See, the non-X CPUs basically perform like the X models with just PBO on a decent motherboard. Exactly, that's what I mean. So like, if I bought a 7900X or 50X, I'd be feeling pretty bummed out right now. But
And
it's the way it goes with like PC hardware. There's always
to
something
me,
better around the corner.
what's the price difference between the X3Ds and then the non 3Ds? Are those going for around the same price? Are they going to be a little bit more? That's where I would feel a little more bummed out on than on
I
the non-X.
I actually don't think they've announced the prices yet.
I think
Um,
they might have. Have they not? I think they might have. Yeah, it says on
oh yeah, they have.
the
Yeah, that's my bad.
okay.
Here
That's
we go.
okay.
So the 7950X 3D. Oh no, yeah.
No? Yes?
No, I was mixed
Maybe?
up. So it's got the non 3D counterparts, but then it says it says TBD for the X
Oh,
3D
okay.
ones. So nothing quite
So
yet for
that's
those.
that's where I would feel bad is if those are pretty much the same price as the non-X3Ds, because then you could pretty much get the better card or the better chip than that. The
Yeah.
non-X is like, hey, they always do this, so you should kind of expect that. And also, you're one of the first people to buy it. You should kind of expect prices to eventually drop too. So if you're the type of person that wants to be the rush out, be one of the first to buy it, just know you're gonna pay the premium price.
That's the way it goes, though. Anyway, when
Yeah,
it comes to this
and
stuff,
we
anyway.
and we appreciate you for it wherever you are,
Exactly.
because then you get us to get the lower prices.
Yeah.
You get all the R&D and you're the guinea pig, so
You're the
it's great.
adopters, basically.
Yeah,
It's like the people
but
who bought an A770, like the kind of things they have to go through now for like Intel's like driver support rolling out, which has been good as far as I've seen. They have kept on top of it, but you are still an early adopter with Intel GPUs.
yeah,
But what else we got?
and then and
Sorry,
then the good
go on.
thing too is like, yeah, you might be the guinea pig, but guess what? You're testing out something awesome anyways. So it's not like it's a sad
Well,
thing.
isn't that the way you described it with first getting into RDNA 2 in the first place? Especially with all the cards you covered.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's nice. You know, you pay the premium price, especially me, especially my cousin Twanners. But at the end of the day, we paved the road for the prices to be cheaper. Now more expensive, I guess. But I mean, but it's not like it was terrible because I had a 6800 XT the whole time, which
Hmm.
is an amazing card. So at the end of the day, yeah, I paid more, but I can't complain because I got to enjoy a nice GPU the whole time.
Exactly. So it's alright then. And I've come in at the later part of that with the 6950 XT. So I've
Yeah.
capitalized on like the like sort of like the sacrifices you made, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
And you're welcome.
Cheers, mate. What else we got on here? Lucky Man, Fury Beast, 32 gigabyte, 5200 megahertz, Ryzen 7 7700X, RTX 3090. Okay, so he's listed a couple of parts on here. What is that in reference to? I kind of need to know what build you're
Is
referring
that,
to, or is that his build?
I think that's either his build or a build he wants to get.
I don't know. You have
Wait,
to
wait.
clarify on there. 7600 is £229 on eBuyer, which is about £10 difference on there. Okay. Twanners in the chat. Twanners, nice to see you stopping by. Do those have integrated graphics? Is he referring to the X3D or?
I think he's talking about the non-X.
Oh wait, they do, don't they? Well,
I think,
the
well,
X
so,
ones do.
yeah, I was gonna say, supposedly all AM5 chips were gonna have integrated graphics. So unless they went back on that
Um,
claim, which I doubt, but I mean, it probably does have it, but like, I'm not 100% sure. Let me see if I can find it on Newegg.
you know what's
Oh,
you
this
know
is why I hate this whole naming scheme. I
there's
mean,
so
I
many
get it.
CPUs.
Yeah, it's just like,
That's
God
something
dang.
people just no one's talked about that very much. Is integrated graphics performance on Zen 4. I could be mistaken, but I like that's why I was like, wait, do they have integrated graphics? Because obviously I know like most Ryzen 5000 didn't have like an iGPU,
Yeah,
but
until this gen. Yeah, you had to get the separate. You had to get the G variants.
no one's talked about it that much on 7000 series.
Let me see. 65 watts, AMD Radeon graphics. Let's see what it says on Newegg. Hmm, you punks. It literally doesn't say. Oh, here, let me click on
Damn you,
specs.
punks! Not give me the info.
Yeah, it says integrated graphics, AMD Radeon graphics. So yes. Oh, and they come with coolers as well too.
Oh yeah, that was the
Since
other good point as well. They come with Wraith Prisms or Stealths,
yeah,
I
the Wraith
think.
Prisms.
That's the one. Yeah,
Since
I
it's
always
not,
forget about that though. Just as well.
yeah, since it's not as hot, the stock coolers can actually keep it cool. So they featured it in there. So not what is it like a $30 cooler? They go for 20, $30 over here in the States.
You can get them
So
pretty dirt cheap.
yeah,
I've got like I have so many stealth coolers in my room. It's like
nice.
it's ridiculous. Because when I was doing the PC build, like when I used to sell PCs,
Yeah.
most of them had like aftermarket coolers more than anything. So I still had like loads of Wraith Stealth coolers and whatnot lying around, and the odd like Intel stock cooler as well. But the Intel stock cooler's got much better. I don't know if you've seen many builds with the new one lately.
No,
Um,
I haven't really seen them.
it's pretty. It looks much better. The other one looks so
They look
crap.
old.
It did.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
didn't change it at all.
yeah. They remind me of Noctuas.
Yeah, I can't comment on that. Like that. It's not that bad. It's fine. What else we got in the chat? Even though these chips are decent at low prices, the boards are still dumb prices. So yes, that was
Oh
the
yeah,
thing that is still an issue. Is pricing on P650 and X670 is still
and
a bit of a shock.
X70Es.
And the E counterparts, yeah, and DDR5. I haven't looked at DDR5 in a
DDR5's
while.
been going down, so that's good.
Oh, okay. Um,
So you want to hear my plan?
Go for it.
I was probably gonna buy the RAM first, since that's sort of cheaper, and then I was gonna buy the CPU, and then hopefully by the time I save money for those two, there's a sale on the motherboards.
That's pretty decent. I've literally, sorry, I've been distracted. I've literally just looked at
That's
DDR5 for the
okay.
first time in a long time, and this is crazy. So you can get a 32 gigabyte kit, 5200 megahertz Corsair Vengeance kit, £130.
Yeah. The 6,000 ones are probably like $30 more. So
But
I would just
that's really good.
yeah. I thought yeah, they've been going down. I'll probably get a 6,000 G skill. It's like 170 over here in the States.
Have we got a 6000
So
kit on here right now? Let's have a look.
RGB'd.
We don't care about that here.
Yeah.
uh, 5600. Okay, the pricing goes up pretty fast once you get to 5600 speed. If you drop the timings down. Oh no, wait. Well, yeah, there's a 5600 kit here. Cast latency 36139. Okay. Not too much more on that.
But yeah, that's my plan. Like I said, get the RAM first since it's already going down in price, and
Hmm.
then go from there. That way I could just look at the RAM and be like, oh wow.
I don't know, but looking at
One day.
that scan, you'd think the only DDR5 memory you can get is Corsair. Like that's the only one. That's
Yeah.
all they've got on there. Okay, so that's one thing going for it, but the motherboards still just need to come down a little bit more on that.
I buy a
Um,
lot. I wanted to get a ROG Strix, and the one I looked at was like $500. I was like, jeez,
Damn.
trade you this Intel Arc.
Yeah, you're right then. Part of me was thinking like, oh, maybe I could justify it later in the year, but I was like, let me pay for a wedding first, and then I'll think about
Yeah.
buying
Anybody
a
wanted to
next
get
gen.
him a wedding gift?
I'm sure
Put
I'm
that
sure my
on your
fiance would appreciate that.
yeah, put that on your wedding registration or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be totally fine.
X670 or a Z790 or a Z890 by the time that
Well,
comes
the
out.
thing is, a lot of that stuff is like stuff because when you first get married, typically you're moving in for the first time with your partner. So it'd be
Yeah.
things like cooking utensils and machines, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
an air
like
fryer.
we already live together. We've been through the air fryer like thing now because everyone's like, "Have you got an air fryer? It does everything for you. It's great. Like you can
Air
cook. You
fryers are
cook.
pretty sick, man.
They create like you can cook like a whole chicken in there. You know you can cook pancakes in there. It does your taxes. You know it does
Yeah.
everything, man.
But see, now you can tell your wife, we don't need an air fryer. I got a 7900X 3D. It gets pretty hot. I could game it and cook at the same time. There you go.
That make total sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to try and get a word in on that anyway.
Or just
Uh,
sneak it in the registration.
yeah, it'd be fine. Rugby gaming, AMD and MS need to do some optimization to get these 7000 series 3D Vcache models working properly. Yeah, well, by interested to see exactly how well it's going to perform because I think what you're referring to is in regards to, like task schedulers and stuff like that because it is limiting it a little bit because Windows 11 is the only one that's capable of handling task scheduling like that. More so like how it was for the P&E cores on Alder Lake and Raptor Lake. I'm guessing that's
Wait,
what you're referring to.
AM5 works on Windows 10?
Yeah, I can't see any reason why not, but I think that the way 3D cache may work, it
I
may have some conflicting like compatibility issues for like
I
task
thought
schedulers.
for some reason I thought AM5 only worked on Windows 11.
You might be thinking
Hmm,
of Intel 12th gen onwards, because
maybe.
there was a lot of stuff like that for their like hybrid like P and E core design. Like Windows 10 doesn't really know what to do with E cores essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
I don't know, I haven't really seen people compare Windows 10 and 11 on like AM5. So I mean, it could be
Yeah.
something interesting to see anyway. Um,
I heard Windows 11 is pretty good now. There's no issues. People are finally having like pretty good stability on it. No lags. I
I'd
think
say so. I'm using I'm using Windows 11 on my main system now with my 13700K, and it's been pretty flawless, in all honesty. Um, I've just recently put Windows 10 back on my mini ITX rig, so I can kind of compare the two now a little bit more. But no, I haven't, like, when I first used Windows 11 about 2021 for when it first came out, it did have issues for me personally, but my installation has been going since about November now. It's not a very long time, but even then, it's been rock solid, really. So, what are you on? Windows 10?
yeah, I'm still on Windows 10, but that's just because the benchmarks of some of my older stuff was on Windows 10.
Yeah.
So, but I think once I do upgrade to the new platform, I'll start doing
Hmm.
Windows 11.
I do still prefer Windows 10, though, if I'm being honest. But I'm kind of used to Windows 11 now, and it does it. There's not much it's doing wrong for me at the moment, so I can't really complain too much. Okay, so Lucky Man, like he explained now, so the build he was referring to is his new build. That's what it is, and
Oh,
that's
nice.
pretty hefty. I'd be curious to know exactly how well performance is, especially. I think we all know how much 3090 performs now, but like just
Wait, Lucky Man,
how it.
you got a dead 3060 and then you upgraded to a 3090, right? That's what you said? Now I'm remembering correctly.
It makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
But like
He was like,
I quite like the sound of that like CPU pairing though, at least anyway, and the motherboard. So it'd be good to know.
yeah.
Uh, what are we going here? Like I'm gonna get towards the bottom of the chat now before we get into our last topic for the evening. TechLab UK looking forward to the Ryzen 5 7600G with RDNA graphics matching an RX 580 8GB Unreal. All happy. That would be pretty cool if they managed to get that level of performance out of integrated graphics. Um, can't be far off, you know. It'll come around soon enough, especially with how well the 5600G performed. Um, love our new Intel stock coolers. With full speed, they do sound like jets. Lol. Yeah, I think that's the main thing with stock coolers anyway. They all sound pretty naff, if we're being totally honest. But
No, you guys hate your fan noise.
that's it. Or you could just get some noise cancelling headphones and you'd be have all your
It,
problems solved.
this Gigabyte Gaming 3070, the fans aren't too loud, but it gets hot.
Oh right.
So, so I guess they're not strong fans. So,
I think my 6950 XT is pretty loud.
yeah.
Um,
Is it the Red
more
Devil?
yeah, more so in terms of coil whine,
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say the coil wine is pretty loud.
I got headphones on, so it don't matter to me. But you can circumvent that a little bit by like undervolting, so it's not too bad. But also,
Waiting on that video.
it
Jeez.
won't be long. But also, the other reason my system might be a little bit louder is because I've decided not to bother putting the rear side panel on temporarily. Because I
Nice.
got the Torrent Compact has a glass side panel on the rear, which
It's
I find a
pretty
little
odd.
pointless.
Yeah.
Um, but since I've swapped the card in, I've had to go back to my stock PSU cables, and for that card, it's got three PCIe connectors, so I need three cables.
Yeah.
And
24 pin.
exactly, but the stock ones are pretty bulky on the PSU, and so when I tried to get the side panel back on, which is made of glass, it was pretty flexy. And
Nice.
I thought, I don't care. So I just
Yeah. If any
I
game.
haven't left it on. It's against the wall, so it's not like
Yeah. I say it's getting better thermals now too, letting all
Yeah,
that air out.
but maybe that's why it's a little louder, even though it's like most of it's like blocked out a bit anyway. But it doesn't really bother me anyway on there. But
Since we're talking about cases, um, what was it? The Y60, the height? Did you like that? The
the
LCD feature
LCD,
they
yeah,
have.
that
You spend like $120 and though you can put the LCD little screens on your case.
yeah. Well, like as I think it's really well known on the show already now that I'm not much of like an RGB enthusiast or like stuff like that. But I do like LCD panels and stuff like that, especially for some of the things you can use it for like literally as like a display for like your
Monitoring.
stats, like yeah, as a monitor for like your temps and FPS and all that
Not
stuff
your
as well.
kill death ratio.
Yeah, not that I don't need to see that. I know what's going on there. But I did like to look at that. What are you thinking of the Y40?
Oh, the non-angled one, right?
Hmm. That's it.
Uh, was it Tech Lab? Tech Lab said it's good because the angle, I guess, reduces the temp or increases temps because I guess the way that the airflow goes in and out of there's a gap or something like that. So it messes with the pressure. I'm assuming you said that. If I'm putting words in your mouth, sorry. But yeah, so I guess that's the only reason why I like it. But the whole point of the Y60, in that case in general, is that angular design is part of the hype. So
Hmm.
it kind of sucks not seeing that little architectural design on there. And
I'm kind of happy people are gonna stop talking about the O11 dynamics so much. I'm
yeah,
so sick of that case. I've never built in it. I've never used it. It's good.
yeah,
It's a good case, but
yeah.
if you
Have you
go
seen it
if
in person?
no, literally, I've never like had my hands on with one. But like you just
Yeah.
like go on Reddit and like the PCMR subreddit, and literally it's just like here's my first build. What's case? O11 dynamic. Like why'd you go for that? Because
Oh,
everyone gets that case.
you're a casist.
I'm casist, yeah, that's what it is.
It's messed up, man.
I know,
Well, they have an all white Y60 build now too. If that makes you a little happier.
maybe. But
Yeah,
but
I've never seen it.
I'm happy to see a case that's kind of like being talked about a bit more compared to that.
Yeah.
Um,
Then you're gonna get sick of this one too.
Maybe I suppose I was actually thinking about getting a Y60 myself for review, but like
Me too.
it's expensive.
It is. And then I liked it because that the reason I really want one is the LED mod.
Yeah,
And I wanted to like download little fishes and a shark, maybe a crocodile.
that would be cool.
And yeah, you know how they call it the aquarium case anyways? Just have it, just have it like little fishes in your case. I thought that'd be pretty funny.
You know what I want?
Uh,
I want the AIO that Height is making.
I got some feedback on my clickbait on
What clickbait you been putting up?
the Red Devil. I put the Y60, the height Y60 case on there on the thumbnail of the how to change the
Oh,
RGB on it.
I remember now. Yeah,
People were expecting to see that case and it was not on there.
you got to use a bit of clickbait to get people in, But it works
I
out.
know.
I can't find a picture of just the AIO, but did you see the one the Height are working on?
That thick one?
Yeah, I've got one from there's
Yeah.
a Gamers Nexus thumbnail, and
Yeah,
that's a thick AIO. There's
yeah,
a
it's like the geez, what was that? The Noctua GPUs? It's a big old thick
oh,
GPU.
so that guy like, damn boy, he thick.
Damn, boy.
But like, the thing is, I want it.
Gee, yeah, dude, that's like that's bigger than GPU.
But like, the thing is, I can't actually like. I don't even think I'd be able to fit that in my case anyway. But
Look,
like, I'd love to
that's
give
as
it.
big as the Fractal Ridge.
Basically, yeah. It's probably thicker than the fractal ridge. But like, I'd love that. Like, I'm still on the sort of like thought process that I would love for Fractal to make a dual 180 mil AIO, which I don't think is ever going to happen. But this would be a good replacement in that case if it didn't happen. But
Yeah, dude, I think if someone sees that in your case, um, if someone's seen that in your case, they'd be like, "Oh, how'd you mount your GPU on top?" Like, nah, that's not my, not my GPU.
that's my cooler. Like what? But no,
Uh,
that's what I'm after.
I'd say, can they make a vertical GPU like where the fans face the front, so all that air can just blow into your straight into your fans?
That sounds a bit like the O11 Dynamic Evo. But
Okay.
that's vertical, but facing the side panel.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, that's a horizontal. I meant like vertical, like you know when you wake up in the morning.
Like that. Just when you're like,
Your
yeah,
GPU's like that, with the fans facing the front. So something like that, you know?
there must be something that does that.
Yeah.
I like the 45-degree GPU mounts. Those are pretty cool.
Oh,
Uh,
my cousin had a little Ferrari one. You could angle it. You could angle it different angles. The vertical mount.
oh, that one, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize you could do it in that one. That's good as well. Um,
Yeah, it was just a
okay, so
bracket
it
he
wasn't
bought.
Rugby 187 gaming. It was actually
But it
rugby
wasn't
gaming
Tech Lab, it was
that
rugby.
mentioned about
Yeah.
that. And I'm pretty sure my headphones are gone again. So like, I'm probably not hearing you. Let me see if I can fix this.
Oh, jeez. He was ignoring me anyways. Rugby 187 said it was me, said clickbait on the Y60 pick, thinking about getting that LCD display from my wife. Love the look of that thick red. Yeah, we love them thick, man. So that'd be if you do get it, you gotta show us, obviously. And then Tech Lab said clickbait works. Next time, just have a picture of it on a screen behind you. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Just green screen it and just have me in the case this whole time. I would like that too.
That would work.
But shh.
Sorry, I'm back now. I think I'm gonna have to sort this out because like I thought I fixed it. I found the cable for these headphones because it's not just like a 1/4 inch jack on either end. It's a different one, but it still cuts out for some
So
reason.
that wasn't fishy. Dang. Yeah, that's odd.
But like I might have to actually because these aren't like
We know.
it sounds bad, not like gaming headsets. But like
Yeah.
I'll have to sort something out because it's getting a bit irritating. But never mind. But shall we get into the final topic for today, Jerry? This is what's
Sure.
is a little saddening, I think, if we're being totally honest.
And before we go into that final topic, we didn't talk about the non-K CPUs that Intel released. But in our defense,
Yeah.
they didn't talk about them either. They didn't tell anyone. And I don't think they launched.
Well, you were the first person that told me about them. Once you mentioned about it, I was like, oh yeah, this the. I don't know. Like, I'll talk about them if you want to, but like,
No,
what have you heard
I don't
on
think
them? If you want to like you can quickly sum it up if you want before we get into the last one.
they're out of stock.
Sweet.
And no one got to review it because Intel didn't tell anyone. So I think they just did this in response to the non-X AMD CPUs. But yeah, that's all I really know about it. I haven't really looked into it too much either.
No, I think what we maybe what would be better is we wait until the reviews come out for those ones and we'll look at them a
Yeah.
bit more. But it's like there's been so many CPUs that have been announced and we've kind of like forgotten about Intel a little bit. But we'll wait until the reviews come out and look at them like a little bit more extensively on there. But yeah, this final topic, I don't really have too much to add onto it, if I'm being totally honest. But it's one that's a bit. If you're into your performance tuning and like monitoring your GPU, this is probably something that's going to be quite important to take a look at. And that is the fact that MSI Afterburner project probably dead due to Ukraine war sanctions. Now, there's been quite a lot going on in regards to this story, so I'll go through a bit of the article just to kind of sum it up for you guys. But so let's see on Tom's Hardware. One of the most popular GPU performance monitoring and tuning tools is probably dead. In
That's terrible
quotations,
wording.
it is a little bit. Its developer has
There's a war
announced
going on.
quite
They're
bigger
like,
too.
it's probably dead.
Yeah,
It's like,
a little bit. Alexei Unwinder Nikolaichuk. I might have butchered that name. Is the
Nikolaichuk?
Nikolaichuk? Yeah, you might be better than me than
Mhm.
that. is the Russian developer of MSI Afterburner and took to the Guru 3D forums last week to explain that progress has already been halted for nearly a year due to the political situation. This is obviously a reference to the Ukraine war and sanctions on Russia, supported by many companies such as MSI and Asus. The news regarding the end of MSI Afterburner development came to light as forum members were talking with Unwinder about using the tool with the new RX 7000 series GPUs like the 7900 XT. In response to a query about upcoming support for the new RDNA 3 GPUs, the developer made it clear that anyone waiting for new GPU support will probably be waiting a very long time. Actually, MSI Afterburner may even reach the end of its development already. So, this is slightly concerning because I want to say I'm in the camp that MSI Afterburner is one of my favorite overclocking utilities.
Not even just for overclocking, just it shows your stats on your card and the overlay.
Yeah,
It's a must-have. It's a top three must-have on any PC.
I like what you did there.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a little disappointing. But
sad.
the article does go on to say that MSI is supposedly saying it's not going anywhere and that they will be looking to ensure the project remains online. Um, but I would think they would say that anyway in regards to that. But if the whole thing is that the actual developer, this Unwinder, he's going by, he hasn't been paid for his contributions on this project since the war in Ukraine began. So you get like a man's got to eat, as they say. So
Yeah.
how long can you continue like that anyway? But like they did say, yeah. So Rugby Gaming just brought up on here now. So I believe MSI gave an update earlier saying they plan to continue development on Afterburner. But it's going to be interesting to see how that development does continue on, given that they've been outsourcing it for so long to this developer from Russia. Um,
Yeah, are they
I'd
gonna
like to see it
continue
open.
without
I
him?
want to see it open sourced, basically.
Yeah. So are they gonna continue without him? Is he gonna get any like royalties or anything? Because that's kind of messed up. They just put him to the side.
It's a difficult position to be in though, where you're a company like MSI who has like publicly come out and said that you're not going to be supporting Russia and you have brought out sanctions on them. So it's a tricky spot to be in if you've got people in
Well,
the
he's
country
not
that
Russia.
I know that, but like it's he's operating on Russian like territory, so that's why it makes it a little tricky. I would assume, but
Is
what
he a
would
spy?
I don't know. He's got is it a fairly
Is
he hasn't got
is Pu
he hasn't got much of a Russian name, so
is Putin gonna take the GPU that they sent to him in the mail?
maybe
We got the
yeah.
only 7900 XTX in the whole country.
It's like in Russia the computer is the GPU, you know.
In Russia, we own GPU.
Exactly.
They-
But what alternatives are there compared to MSI Afterburner? Like if we're talking AMD, there's obviously you can use like AMD's baked-in driver overclocking utility, Adrenaline. You notice I call it the right thing. I stopped calling it Wattman
Yeah,
now.
I was waiting for you to call it what, man?
Um, so AMD has their own overclocking utility baked into the driver anyway. Um, is EVGA like continuing with Precision X now that they're no longer working on GPUs? Are they going to
I'd
keep that
say
software going?
I don't know how long that is gonna be on for, but it is still currently running. Um, but that is an interesting one. I'm
What is
trying
it?
to think.
What other ones are
I'm trying.
there?
I was gonna. Sapphire has no, they have the tricks, but that's more like DLSS and FSR. Their software has that baked into it. Um, I think it is a Gigabyte. I think Gigabyte you're able to overclock your cards. PNY, I think you're able to overclock your card on their software. So a lot of GPU companies have their own RGB software that you're also able to overclock your stuff. The Acer Predator has their Bifrost software. You can do that on there. I actually was planning on overclocking the Arc on one of these videos, but I don't know, nothing as universal as MSI Afterburner. And like
I
I
was to
said, I
say,
like their
would you use any of those over MSI
yeah,
Afterburner?
yeah, and I like the overlay, like I said, on Afterburner as well.
Well, I don't know how much of a separate entity Riva Tuner is compared to MSI Afterburner, so I don't
Yeah,
know whether maybe there would be any sort of potential crossover with them, perhaps.
yeah, if they're gonna
Um,
do their own thing. But I mean, Riva Tuner comes with Afterburner, so
yeah, I'm not sure how separate they are in the first place, though. That's the only thing.
yeah, I
Um,
don't know either. But
but it's disappointing though. But like the
yeah,
only alternative I would say is to use AMD's own overclocking software, but that obviously doesn't apply to like a lot of people because
NVIDIA.
it's you got Nvidia and Intel and Intel to contend with now. So I don't know. It's a little bit disappointing. I hope it doesn't go away because it's still a really like you see these I don't I wouldn't call them like cliched videos, but it's like top five software programs do you need to have as a first time PC gamer or some
Yeah, I know what you're
boss
saying.
like that. So it's always like Steam. You need Steam. Uh, I don't know. Ryzen Master, something along those lines. MSI Afterburner is like always going to be in that list. You need that. That's kind
Yeah,
of like it's your go to thing. I like how I've gone to think and think
Solitaire.
what's the like Solitaire exactly. I was going there. I was like, shit. What software would I recommend to a PC builder nowadays anyway? I kind of like just Steam and yeah, MSI Afterburner. but
Yeah,
um, hardware in for 64. That's the one I would say anyway.
yeah,
But
that's what I was thinking too.
no, I don't I
Oh,
don't I don't want it to go anywhere. It's be sad if it
and
does.
if they and like I said, if they do keep going with it, include Unwinder. If he's been doing all the work for it, if he's the major backbone to it, don't pull
Oh yeah,
McDonald's and kick him out.
yeah. That'd be a little bit gutting if he's put so much work into it and they've decided to just give him the boot.
Yeah,
But
and
hopefully,
then their
hopefully that's not.
excuse is
Yeah,
that he was working with Russia.
yeah. Hopefully that's not the case anyway. But I thought it was worth sharing because I think it's a. I feel like
Yeah, dude.
I feel like everyone in this chat must at least use MSI Afterburner to some extent. If you're a PC
Yeah, and
gamer.
yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It hurts me
But
because I like to crank up my fans on MSI Afterburner. Let's go. That's what I mainly use it for.
oh
Turn
yeah,
that bad boy up to 70% and just fucking put on my headphones and just live life.
yeah. That's what I do. That's what I do for my 3080 system. Like literally,
You know,
I kind of like remember I did the repad, like for the thermal pad
yeah,
mod on there. I think it's kind of getting. I think it's degrading because my I feel like my temperatures are getting slightly worse on that 3080 now. It has been like
nice.
nearly a year since I did that mod though. Um, so I've kind of just been like undervolting and cranking the fans up just to compensate. Um, I honestly should open it up again, I think, and change out the pads because I didn't quite get it 100% the first time. Um, but again, it's effort.
So,
um,
the next time you go to turn on your fans, what you got to do is go to your phone or whatever you play music on. Go to whatever streaming device or service you listen to. Go type in Leonard Skinner Freebird. Fast forward it a little bit, and then have it when it's starting to crank up, and then just crank up that freaking fan so it goes up with the freaking noise. That's how I do it every time. So it just goes and I can't hear my GPU at all. It's fucking great.
I appreciate you kind of cut yourself off a bit there before we got demonetized for like
Oh, for the
playing free.
DMC.
But I felt like I was in a Leonard Skinner concert right now. Like
Dude,
it's
you
crazy.
you want to talk about DMC strikes before we go?
Sure, go for it.
So I have this royalty-free intro, right? You guys know my intro for the most part.
Yeah.
And I every once in a while I get a fucking DMC strike, dude. And you have to file a dispute. I file a dispute. You know what I put every time I file a dispute? That usually works pretty fast.
What's that?
I type in, did you guys even listen to the freaking song you're saying that it is? I'm like, it's not even close. Because it tells you the name of the song they think it is. And I look it up on YouTube. And it's always a Christian group or I don't know, some gospel music, and it sounds nothing like my song.
So,
And dude,
just to clarify, who owns the rights to that song?
hush, not Sony, but some, well, the bandsound.com, the DRM song. You're talking about that song,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, anyways, so I tell them like in my description it says that they allowed me to use this song as long as I have Ben Sound in my link. And I'm like, but did you even listen to the song? I literally say that because I'm like, it's not even close to the same. It doesn't have any of the same melodies or anything, like in case they sampled it from that song.
Yeah. So
And dude,
I have a bit of anxiety with that with my intro video
yeah,
because it's got that song that's it's from YouTube Audio Library. But like I feel like any day like the artist could suddenly say like, oh no, that's,
he claims it as his song.
and I'm like, and because of the way my intro is animated in time with the music, I think I'm like that kind of just cocks up the entire thing. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah, so normally it goes away pretty fast because when I literally put like, did you guys even listen to the damn song? It's not even the same thing. Usually works because obviously it's not the same song.
Yeah.
And dude, this is like the second time it took a whole month. Like they literally don't even respond to the claim. They just let the claim right out till the end of the automatic 30 days. Like I automatically win. So
Yeah.
that was on the 4080 video. So I think when there's a claim, it might affect your views as well. It kind of like shadow bans the video a little bit.
I've never heard of that. Honestly, I'm not 100% if that is the case
Okay.
anyway. But the only thing I would think of then is like you're getting very close to like 1K subs. Um, what about because you gotta have the watch hours is 4,000 for partner as well.
Yeah, I'm like at 12,000 on the watch hours.
So literally, as soon as you get to 1K subs, you're there. You're gonna be
Yeah.
partnered. So you're a bit concerned that might be an issue because at that point, then it's gonna affect the monetization on the videos as well.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I just annoyed that
Yeah.
they put that claim on me, bro. Like, dude, it's not at all the same song. Like at all. It's not even close. At all. Like how can you I just hate their process. I hate the stupid YouTube process.
It's not the best at all.
Yeah. And imagine for the people that like if I was monetized, that'd be a whole month of me not getting paid. Which I'm not I don't care about that too much. It's just oh, and there was also a new YouTube update as well.
Was this in regards to the shorts?
No, you can't curse in the video. Um,
Oh, that
before,
thing. Yeah. Have we gone past that
yeah,
point already today?
no, yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
we have.
uh, yeah, I was gonna say, you can't. Before they would give you leniency with certain words, they would consider different curse words like they would separate them. Like you might not
Maybe.
get demonetized for like darn, darn is fine, but like the other way of saying darn, but it
Yeah.
might count as like the F word now or like something else. So
See,
like
I've only noticed this crop up for I watched the YouTuber Some Ordinary Gamers and he was talking about it and how his latest videos you can see he's cut out a lot of the cursing stuff like that. Um, curse away all you want on the stream. Like I honestly don't care. Like
I try not to, but yeah.
yeah. But like I'll drop one now. It's like I don't give a fuck on stream. It's fine. But like
Uh,
I'd be curious to see like if that has actually started to take place. The only place I would notice is in streams because like generally I'm very family friendly in my videos, so it's all right there.
yeah,
But no, so like because I remember
that's a heads up.
you were explaining to me before what the what's the word on it? Let's see the sort of policy in regards to cursing on stream was if you don't didn't stream within the first 30 seconds or didn't
Yeah, in the
curse
first 30
rather.
seconds, if you didn't curse, you get like instant demonetization if you curse within 30 seconds of your stream.
Right. That's this. But now it's like it's throughout the entirety of whatever like piece of content it is now, it seems.
Yeah, and there's been some creators that had all their old videos just straight demonetized, like a lot of their videos demonetized, and they're I'm assuming they're trying to figure out what words they used in those videos.
I don't know.
Because
But
you had to say.
This is the only
You have
place
to
I'd
say
have to think
something pretty
about it though.
harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'd have to say like SA or the R word, Like you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I think we
Okay.
know what we're seeing on there. Like I know that's an interesting example. This an example I have now is that my fiance watches a lot of like uh crime YouTube channels, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Um this one's on there, they'll bring up if there's someone that's been like like a particular victim, they'll use the term SA
Yeah.
victim, stuff like that.
For S
Uh
assault,
yeah. So stuff like that. But yeah, so I honestly it doesn't crop up for me much because I'm like
And then
I'm
and then
very
you
I'm very scripted, with my
and
videos.
then you hear
So
people say like R word, not for that R word, but for like a rap victim, you
yeah,
know? Yeah. So so yeah,
um,
like just so stuff like that. So people kind of try to find ways around it to like talk about the subject, or people that talk about like news or like like celebrities or like YouTubers and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like Kai Cenat, I don't know if you heard about him. He threw a New Year's party and he invited some girl, and anyways, one of his friends
Oh, is this
did
a Twitch
Twitch,
streamer?
like one of the most popular Twitch streamers, yeah. And then he
Yeah.
tried saying he didn't know the guy, and then she showed a picture he has of them two together, and they were like longtime friends. And she was like
Hmm.
describing him, and he's like, ah, that doesn't sound like someone I know. And it's like one of the only people he follows on Twitter. So
It's a bit
yeah.
suspicious. That's it's a little
Yeah,
sus. You know?
yeah. So the whole problem wasn't him, like, because he wasn't in trouble because he didn't do it. It was just the fact that he was kind of like covering up for the friend, so the friend didn't get in trouble. That was the
Yeah. There
that
was
was
a
the issue that.
there was a different streamer that popped up for a while ago. I can't quite remember, but it's very sketchy waters anyway on those. Um, I can't remember the one it was that was saying this, but it might come back to me at some other point anyway. But the point is, I'll have to like once like the video once the stream has finished processing, I have to let you know if it does get
Yeah, that'd be
demonetized
interesting
now.
because it's monetized. And they also updated their system, their engine, whatever. It lets you know a little bit faster if there's anything in your video that's for demonetization or copyright. I think they updated the process of that a little faster too. So
Well, that's
when you go
good,
to
I
upload,
suppose, because I know they can
yeah,
be a bit vague with the reasons why
yeah,
at times. But
yeah, and sometimes like your video will take a while to upload, and when it finally uploads, it's like demonetized. You're like, what? Like
yeah,
4 hours of uploading for this?
I know that. So if any of you guys saw the best of 2022 video, the one of the channels in there was Mert KK. She's just done a like video essay on the Silence of the Lambs, and I saw she's had to upload that video like 10 times because it just
For
kept getting.
copyright?
Yeah,
Or
it's to a certain extent you can use clips from like films and stuff like that depending on the use case, but it was like
and
you
depending
you
on the company too.
yeah, but YouTube was having none of it whatsoever. But I think she finally
Yeah.
got it edited just right to where it wasn't getting flagged then.
Did,
But
did she just have to like reenact the scenes? Like just at home, just to
just there in like the grey jumpsuit as Hannibal Lecter, just like,
yeah,
but yeah.
she's doing the
So if we do get
and
demonetized, guys, now is a good time for a super chat or join a membership on PC Jack. Just saying,
yeah. Or his Patreon.
Or it's Patreon. Like we both got Patreons. Like
I don't have
sign
a
up.
Patreon. I had a Patreon.
Oh, you
It's
had a
not current.
Patreon.
It's not currently active.
Ah, fair enough.
It's yeah.
I'll have to change the little message that pops up. 'Cause it says support us on Patreon.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
just
is there is there any special features for the people in Discord that have a Patreon?
um I think there's like I've put so little into Patreon. That's why I've kind of stopped plugging it, if I'm being totally honest. But
Yeah.
there is a Patreon only chat on the Discord. But like
Okay.
I don't know. I've kind of stopped thinking about Patreon at the moment. That's why I kind of prefer the memberships for YouTube on here because there's a bit more of a like there was behind the scenes stuff on Patreon, but like I quite like the idea of the early access videos as well and like the other features that are
Yeah.
integrated with streams and stuff like that. But yeah, well, I'll have to update some stuff for the stream anyway,
Yeah.
especially with that Patreon. But there we go.
And then the more you get more popular, the more I think you could do more with the Discord and the Patreon. As of
Hmm.
now, it's a small community, so it's not too bad. But
But I have quite enjoyed developing it to where it is right now, though. But yeah, I'm just looking to do more of that throughout the year as well. Anyway, as I expect you are with your Discord as well.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's all a slow process, you know. This would be like my technically my third year of making videos for the channel.
nice.
So it's all it all comes together. It's all good fun as well, and I'm quite happy to be getting back into it with the start of this year now. So I've come up with that first build last week. I got my first CPU cooler review coming out this week, and just getting the ball
Let's
rolling
go.
again. So it's
Hell yeah.
alright. The same way how you getting back into your GPU reviews and just keeping the ball rolling, which is the best way to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think I'm gonna work on the end my outro video, just so I could update. I don't know if a lot my top three entertainment playlist doesn't get a lot of views, like my vlogs and stuff. I think I'm gonna probably talk about that a little more in the outro. It's like, hey, if you guys want to know more like about my life a little more, check out these videos because I do have a lot more subscribers now
Yeah, you've been
than
breaking
I
them
did.
in. You're getting really close to 1K now.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna update that, and it's a new year too, you know.
Yeah, just change it out as well. It'd be good
Yeah.
now. And obviously, you got plans to like do other stuff, like you're trying to get back into the Why Not Me podcast and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on. But I'm wishing you all the best of luck for the year ahead. Anyway,
Yeah, that's why I like my live streams because it's kind of me slowly dipping my toes back into doing my podcast. So that's
it is
I have a
because
lot
you
of fun doing that.
because you had the one where you're doing like the GPU pricing video or the stream rather, and then
Yeah.
we did the stream when you invited me on for the RDNA free announcement. So
Yeah.
it's different ones like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I was gonna do the AMD one, the recent one where they announced their CES, their little their little panel on there
Oh yeah,
where they announced the new chips. I was gonna do that, but then it was the holidays and when was this Thursday?
I can't remember now. I'm not
Yeah, it
100
was
percent
Thursday.
sure.
So I was just getting back into it. So I was just like, nah, you know what? It's fine. I'm just gonna watch it on my couch with my dog.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, you got to take
so
that. I think it was a good idea to unwind over the holidays now, but it's getting
I
back
gotta
into
get
it
back
now.
to it. I
Exactly.
know. I will get my hands on a newer GPU pretty soon.
Sounds good. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
next thing I'm after now is trying to get a Fractal North case because I'm really desperate to
pretty
review that one.
soon.
But it's all in the pipeline. But yeah, I'm gonna call it quits there. So that's it for the live show. If you enjoyed it, then please feel free to like and subscribe for more streams on the way soon. And also make sure to head over to Jerry's channel and subscribe to his channel because he's got all the good GPU goodness coming your way throughout 2023 as well. Anyway, and if you'd like to talk more about either of us, then you can join us on both of our Discords. Uh, Links for all that are in the video description. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna call out. I'll tell you. You can do it, Jerry. You can call out the chat. Let's
Shout
see
out,
who we had.
shout out for Rugby 187 Gaming. Shout out to Tech Lab UK. Shout out to Twanner. Shout out to Lucky Man One. And was anyone else in here?
I think that was
Well,
about it on there. Yeah.
shout
There's,
out to Chatters and shout out to PC Jack.
and shout out to you too as well, Jerry. We'll see you guys next week. And let's roll out that intro, and we'll see you guys in the
Let's
next one.
go.
Bye all.